guys, welcome back to the North American Guitar for another session here with a guest musician. Today I'm here with the wonderful Bill Cooley, who is a Nashville-based guitarist and who has a long history playing in the studio and on tour with folks. And I think for a lot of people you're more known as a fingerstyle guitarist, but as we were just discussing, you've had a pretty varied musical history.
Yeah. I was saying I came to town as an electric guitar player. My first couple of gigs were doing that. And then when I got the Kathy Mattea gig as an electric guitar player, that over the 30 years I played with her, her music got more and more acoustic, and so did I. So now I'm more an acoustic player, and happy to do it.
Yeah.
Fine by me.
So we actually got connected because we have a student in common, and so you're doing a lot of teaching these days now that you're off the road? Yeah,
I got off the road a couple of years ago, and I teach online lessons, and it's working great. I love it. It's great to not only to give back, but I get so much from students. You know, they keep me current on music. So I love it, and I was blessed to have great guitar teachers when I was young. I wouldn't be a professional musician today without those guys, the teachers I had growing up.
Yeah. How long have you been playing guitar?
Oh my gosh, over 50 years, probably about 55 years, something like that.
Yeah. When did you start?
About 15.
Yeah.
I think I got a guitar a couple of years before that, but for the first year, I turned it over and beat on it like a drum. You know? It took me about a year to go, well, what happens if I play this, you know, do something with this side? But I think the Beatles on Ed Sullivan has something to do with that.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So you're from California, right? And when did you come to Nashville?
In '85.
Yeah. And who are some of your biggest influences for, I guess, both electric and acoustic guitar?
Acoustic, and everybody from Chet Atkins and Doc Watson to Leo Kottke and John Fahey, that school of steel string, finger picking guitar, and James Taylor. I mean, goes without saying. Electric, you know, my first concert, the first concert I went to when I was about 15 was the Jimi Hendrix Experience.
Oh wow!
Yeah. He was at Robertson Gym at on the UCSB campus, and that was my first concert. So there you go.
Not too bad.
So that, and you know, all the guy Clapton and Jimmy Page and Robin Ford was a big influence, and you know, guys like that.
Yeah.
And my teachers when I was growing up would point me to certain records, you know. So that's how I found out about George Benson and Pat Martino and Joe Pass and Barney Kessel. You know, because when I was a kid, what did I know? And but they would point me towards those kind of records. So I had a good. I think the first song I ever learned on guitar was "Rebel Rouser" by Duane Eddy. So, you know, Southern California had a lot of instrumental guitar records around. You know, the surf bands and guys like Duane Eddy. So, you know, the guitar was everywhere.
Yeah. You can really hear there's a whole eclectic blend of influences in your playing style and all the different arrangements that you play. So that really makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Well, you have your guitar in your hands, and we definitely want to talk about that. It's one made by Brian Galloup, who all of our audience will most likely be familiar with. You have this guitar has a little bit of a backstory in that its predecessor got lost in the flood. So tell us about that.
This is a Northern Light. I don't know what he calls it these days, but when he was, I got this one. This body style.
Is that sort of like a grand auditorium size?
Yeah. And he calls it the Northern Light. The first one he made for me, I lost in the Great Flood of 2010. It was in Carthage, and it was my stage guitar. That one was a real heartbreak because it had aged so beautifully, and it was really had come into its own, as it were. And so, I still miss that guitar. I've had this one about 20 years, and this is my main stage, or rather my main studio guitar.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the one I use. So there's no pickup in it. It's just the one I use in studio.
What are the woods?
Indian rosewood, back and sides, and bear claw spruce.
Ooh, very beautiful bear claw spruce top.
Yeah, it's a beauty.
Yeah, yeah. Man, I feel like Indian rosewood, especially in like the sort of luxury guitar market, is not getting as much attention as it should be getting because it just makes for such great guitars for the most part.
Yeah. This guitar sounded great brand new. You know, that's not always the case.
Yeah, definitely not.
It takes a while for them to open up.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, this one, as soon as I got it, it was like, this is it. This is my studio mainstay.
Yeah. When you do play on stage, what's your go-to guitar?
I have an old Guild, one that was made up in the Westerly, Rhode Island plant back in in the 80s. Talk about aged and, you know, like a fine wine. That guitar is really resonant. I also have another Galloup that I use on stage that I got from him to replace the one that I lost in the flood, and it's got kind of a it's got koa back and sides and a European spruce top, and so that one's got a pickup system in it too. So I use that one on stage as well.
Awesome. Not a vintage guitar nerd in terms of like having the really old stuff?
Well, you know, no, I'm not. Mainly because I've always just been a kind of a working musician, and that's not to say though I don't appreciate vintage guitars. I very much do. My wife and I were raising 4 kids, and I was a working musician, and there was no money for those kinds of guitars. But you know, now that I'm retired and they're grown and gone, who knows?
Yeah, did
especially hanging out in this place.
Maybe a retirement gift.
Yeah, exactly.
So if folks want to find you, they can just go to billcooleymusic.com, right?
Yep, that's it.
They can download your albums as well, and I'm sure buy the CDs too, and of course reach out to you for lessons if they want to take that route. So
yeah,
well,
absolutely.
Yeah, well, awesome. Thank you so much, Bill, for doing this today.
Thanks for having me, Lindsay.
Such a pleasure having you.
Everybody here has been so nice. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, thanks again, and yeah, everybody go check out Bill's music online.